Hey folks, it's the Brown Noser. Thanks for joining me and I hope you're doing well. Well, we've made it to the end of another year, and as I've done in the last 2 years, I've decided to share with you what I feel are my best photos from 2025. Now, unlike previous years, I didn't get out with my camera as often as I would have liked to. I did go on a couple of trips with DW, which I've shared in previous videos, and I've also gotten out to my photo club and into the studio with models. But apart from that, I really haven't picked up my DSLRs. So what I did is I went through all the photos that I took this year and I pared it down to my top 10, and I'd like to share those with you now. I would like to give you a bit of a heads up that some of the photos that I shot this year are not necessarily safe for family viewing, and hopefully the YouTube algorithm doesn't mess with this video. For shots where I have partial or total nudity, I have edited those photos for this video to cover them up. If you want to see the unedited photos, I will leave a link to my blog in the description section, which will show you the photos as I had intended to shoot them. So without further ado, let's look at number 10 on my top 10 photos of 2025. I don't think that I have ever seen so much wildlife outside a zoo as when DW and I were in the Amazon basin of Peru in May. The birds were especially plentiful. Armed with my Nikon D750 and a 200 to 500mm f.6 lens, I was able to zoom in on some wonderful birds such as macaws, caracaras, and more. But the shot that is one of my favorites is of a bird that looks very similar to a common bird that we often spot when we're kayaking the lakes and rivers of Ontario, the great blue heron. The bird in this shot, however, is a kukui heron. We were able to get close enough that the large bird filled a great amount of my frame, and when it took flight, the motion of its wings was spectacular. Earlier this year, as DW and I were hiking a trail in Ottawa's West End, we came across a railway line upon which we could walk. I had my Nikon D7200 on me in case I saw anything interesting, and while the tracks in a wooded area appealed to me, there was much that could have been improved. The light of the midday sun, for example, the time of day in general, even the time of year and the weather could have been better for the shot, but I composed the shot and took it anyway. As I looked at the captured image, I had a vision for how I wished the shot to turn out. So after I did some preliminary edits, I used an AI tool to bring my vision to life before making more edits and getting the final result. I started 2025 by attending an artistic nude photo shoot with Ukrainian model Ira Balan. We wrapped her in fabrics, in rope, in jewelry, and sometimes in nothing at all. We used high-key lighting on a white background and low-key lighting on a black background. We even used smoke, as this photo shows. Ira wasn't the only model that I spent time with this year. New Zealander Lucy visited Ottawa and was invited to join my photography meetup group. It was the first time that I'd been in the studio in the RA Centre near Billings Bridge. The former racquetball court turned studio gave us a high ceiling from which large backgrounds could drape. As with Ira, we shot both high-key and low-key images, but it was the low-key images that really stood out for me, including this shot where a thrown piece of fabric almost looks like wings. This one almost feels like a cheat. It's not strictly a photo, but rather a frame from a video clip. But as I recorded my journey through a set of whitewater rapids on the Jacques-Cartier River in the Laurentians, I did so knowing that I'd create a still from the footage. I just like how this frame captured the action, the water splashing around me in my kayak, and my concentration as I negotiated this rough section of the river. I used this frame as the thumbnail for the YouTube video that I made of this trek. It seems that I went to a lot of model photography meetups, but I only attended 3 this year. 2 of them involved using fabrics, while a third was centered around motion. In this low-key shoot, we had our model, Riley Jade, move while we snapped away. She danced, jumped, and twirled, and we used all sorts of flashes, including strobes. I took all sorts of photos of Riley to demonstrate motion, but my favorite series of images that I captured involved her moving around in an orange skirt. As I composed the shots, I decided that for this series, I would keep the skirt orange, though I punched the color, but render Riley herself in black and white. It wasn't until I had completed the edits on all the images, and it was a lot of work for each one, that had seen them all side by side that I came up with the following image as my favorite, and it's one of my best shots of this year. It's hard to believe that one of my bucket list destinations isn't my absolute favorite photo of 2025, but I truly found that photos of this Incan wonder could not do justice to the breathtaking majesty that I beheld with my own eyes. To truly see the beauty of this city in the clouds, you must simply go and see it for yourself. What made Machu Picchu special for me was the mist that was allowing the site to play peekaboo. I was able to capture so many variations from the same spot, and when it came to choosing the best of the series, I went for one that doesn't quite copy the millions that have been captured by other visitors, and to one that I applied a monochrome filter. As beautiful as Machu Picchu is, my camera didn't quite capture its beauty as much as it had captured in Ira, though it was close, oh so close. Ira is so talented. She had set up a full-length mirror out of view from the camera so that she could see herself as she set up a pose. And once she was ready, she'd face the camera. There were so many amazing photos to choose from, and the decision on the best shot from this photo session was so difficult, but it came down to this one. There's almost a sense of motion to the shot, and that look on her face. Those eyes. I really loved the countryside and the mountain ranges of Peru. I wrote about this place in a blog post in May as I was still going through the vast amounts of photos that I shot during our vacation. This one, of the flat plains contrasted before the peaked Andes with a storm brewing overhead, is still one of my favorite shots of the entire trip. I couldn't take my eyes off this stunning view. DW and I have been privileged to be able to travel around the world. We've been on the opposite side of our planet from home, and we've now been in both hemispheres. And while seeing the beauty of faraway lands with our own eyes is wonderful, there is still so much beauty in our own country that we haven't explored. Late this summer, we made a trip to the Laurentians and were wowed beyond expectations. We were able to kayak in the Saguenay Fjord and see the hills rise up, but for me the true beauty of this region was viewed from above at sunset. Looking up at the Saguenay River from L'Anse de Tabatière, you are treated with this view. Well, those are my photos of 2025. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did like this video, give it the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that I can grow it and give you more content. Let me know what you felt of those photos, and I want to wish you and your family a very happy 2026. Be safe, be happy, be awesome, and we'll see you next time.